Oh, right as Sheets popped in, there he is. How's it going, man?
I'm going well. What I would like to know from you, if you have the answer to this, is where is Donovan Mitchell?
What do you mean, where is he?
He was said nowhere to be found at shoot around.
Huh. Well, that's going to make things interesting because that'll make Darius Garland a really good play. And let's see, we should know that one. Ugh.
It said at 11 a.m. this morning, no sign of Cavs Donovan Mitchell here at shoot around this morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We have DeAndre Hunter ruled out.
Yep.
We have Miles Turner is in. We have a starting lineup of the Nets, but something about Ben Simmons on a minutes restriction, 20 minutes.
Yeah, which
Vaughn said it's not set in stone, so 38 minutes upcoming.
Yep. Yeah, right. I'm not playing Ben Simmons anyway. I do think Durant, Kyrie are better plays than they were, but I think actually all of the Nets you could just say are decentish plays. I think that Curry and Seth Curry and Joe Harris as values, especially Curry, stands out as a potential 3,600. I think he's going to get probably more ownership than I'd like, but I probably will use a little bit of him. It's very strange for a slate this size that we don't have these 3K guys. We're just not used to that, right?
Yeah.
Curry and Gafford really being the only two that really stand out from a projection standpoint. You can get cute with a guy like Nick Richards, but I don't think that I'm going to be doing that. So it's kind of a little bit of a weird slate, which makes it kind of fun. But obviously, I think that if you do lose Mitchell for any reason, because I have Mitchell as a priority play for me, he's in my core. So I will just pivot that over to Garland and then spend the rest a little bit elsewhere. I also think that it'll bring, if he's out, Chetty Osman will be in play, and so would Karis LeVert. I still think Garland would be my priority amongst those, but I do think that those guys have to at least be considered.
You know what else I'd like to know? I'd like to know, but I'm not going to know that. I want to know if Larry Markkanen's playing.
My guess is that he's going to play. Like, I think they treat. I mean, if you're the Jazz, sort of like with last year with the Lakers and New Orleans, if there's one game you need to try to win every time, it's against this team. You know,
yeah,
their draft pick, you can knock them down. It also solidifies yourself more. You have a chance to show out. You're going to put your best foot forward, I feel like, in those matchups. So that's my guess. It looks like Fox is out. Okay, now everything's starting to come in. I'm gonna need to relook at these projections because
Fox is out, huh? Huh, interesting.
Fox, he's been hurt. So I'm actually I'm surprised at the timing of it because I think his number is cratered like nobody I've ever seen. He's clearly hurt. He's also been sick on top of it. So, and he's got the foot injury. So without Fox, that's going to be a weird one because that team has a lot of bodies. I guess boost to everyone. I mean, if you lose Mitchell now, that game becomes very stackable. I feel like.
I guess Davion Mitchell is the
maybe, but they don't need to. Maybe he's going to be the one who pops in the projections. But you're telling me they couldn't run Monk out there?
Oh wait, so here's something. Bogdan Bogdanović will remain on a minutes limit.
Of?
Doesn't say. For a few more games.
Oh God.
And Davion Mitchell will start for
yeah. So he's going to look like a really good play. Okay, so Mitchell, I think that's going to have to be.
Anthony Davis is in.
Yep, knew that one. Wow. This is what happens. I was all ready to talk with you. Hey, isn't it kind of crazy? We don't have anything really to go over, you know.
Then it all comes crashing down.
Then it comes in because the Fox thing is a big thing.
Well, now I don't have to play 92% Bogdanović also.
Yeah, and I still like Bogdanović, by the way. I don't think the minutes are going to dissuade me from this. He played 24 minutes, so if he's on a minutes limit, like he just shot it. Look at his shots per minute are crazy. He shot 16 times in 24 minutes the other day.
Patrick Beverley will return to the lineup tonight, as will LeBron James.
Yep. I would have been shocked if that wasn't the case. So we've got okay. So we're gonna have to relook at projections. I have to leave at 6:30 so I can try to get my lineups.
At what time?
Well, 6:30.
Okay.
So
I have maybe till 6:40.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just like looking at it right now, and I'd like to get some updated
Yeah,
projections
we
because
got some time.
I mean, the things that were my priorities was absolutely to stack the hell out of the Minnesota Utah game
Mm-hmm.
and to stack Indy and Washington. It's really hard with Washington because they have 9 bodies. Okay. There is like no way 2 of them aren't going to get there in a pretty big way. Avdia is the obvious one, but whether it's Gafford, Porzingis, and I really mean that. It's weird to say like these cheap guys with the expensive guys, but I'm trying to figure out who that other guy makes the most sense. Porzingis, Kuzma, I mean Kispert and Morris. I don't usually like to play, but like they're so short on bodies. That I want to stack that game. And then I also think that what gets overlooked by the end of this, maybe a little bit, is the New York Charlotte game, which I also think is a very stackable game. And my priority plays are I have like 75% Anthony Edwards tonight, and I will.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's going to lessen, but I don't understand. I just think the projections are wrong. They're broken. His absolute like leveled out middle score in this kind of game should be 50. And it should never be lower than 50, and he's 9K. And I think he's got upside of 75. I really do. I have tons of D'Angelo Russell. I have tons of guys in that game. I'm spreading it out. Kyle Anderson in some, Jaden McDaniels in some, Rudy Gobert in a bunch. I have Walker Kessler. I think Walker Kessler is a phenomenal tournament play, especially because you buy some time. And they may in fact start him again, which they're currently projected to do, but we'll see what they choose to go with. I like Conley probably more than most people do. It feels like a really safe 35 for me, or a safe-ish route to 30 to 35. Maybe not quite as exciting with some of these other plays that are popping out now, but I just think that game's so interestingly stackable, and then you just adjust along the way to whatever value opens. In my early builds, I had 5 players from that game, and I think both of my big lineups. But I'm going to pivot a little bit more over to the Washington side. I'm going to get in a little bit of the Seth Curry probably, and I'm probably going to have to get a little bit of Donovan Mitchell, Davion Mitchell, excuse me. And if Donovan plays, I'm playing Donovan Mitchell still as a priority play, which now makes it a little more fun because we can find a run back on Sacramento and Davion Mitchell. And I think your tournament play, which is probably not going to look, I mean, he's going to be owned, right? Malik Monk could go nuts without Fox. But I think he's actually being over projected. So maybe playing Herter instead, who's a slightly lower projection, but much safer. Maybe that's a good route to go. It's a terrible matchup for Sabonis, but without Fox on the court, does it matter?
No,
I don't know. So the slate got a lot more interesting. That's for sure. I'm trying to rerun the projections now. Davion Mitchell's looking like one of the best plays in the slate now. I love Mitchell Robinson tonight in this matchup, but
why am I getting not across the board, but one place has a very strong projection on Onyeka Okongwu? Is somebody out for Atlanta?
Yeah, everybody. I remember DeAndre Hunter,
okay,
as well as all the other guys who have been out. What's his name? I can't think of everybody for some reason right now. You've still got the minutes limit on Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where. I know Okongwu played some minutes in the last game, but you're still talking about a backup center who doesn't usually play with Capella hardly ever, and we're playing against a team that with no bigs. Seems like it would be tonight they would play them together. So I would just X that. I would just probably cancel that one. Okay. If he gets there, so be it. I think Capella is an interesting play, but maybe you could take the argument that maybe they end up favoring Okongwu in this matchup against over Capella, but I don't know. It just seems like a very speculative thing to me. John Collins has been out, so there's nothing new there. So Collins and Hunter, those are the main reasons why he's popping.
AJ Griffin at all? No.
But these guys, all those guys I have is just fine. I don't think that they're anything special as plays. But I think that somebody probably gets there. Jalen, you have Jalen Johnson, I think is definitely more in play than he was earlier. But his minutes aren't. Why do I still have Hunter in the starting? I actually saw the thing that said he was out, but for some reason I can't get him out of these projections.
Lakers
Uh,
expected to start Schroeder, Beverly, somebody named Walker, James, and Davis.
yeah, Lonnie Walker. Yeah, the
Lonnie
normal
Walker, sorry. I thought that was like the Jay Walker that guy put in his dummy lineup yesterday.
stuff. Right. Whatever that was. That was the weirdest lineup I've ever seen. Um, I'll tell you what. I actually don't. I don't mind Jalen Johnson here. I'm just a fan of watching that guy play. I think he's just like a really good athlete and he's really active, but I don't think you need to do it. I'm just waiting to see for some updated projections because only Mitchell's has been projected, but I haven't seen anything on Atlanta that really stood out. And
we need Cleveland stuff too.
we need to know Mitchell 100%.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing we can do without. That's a huge piece of information, and especially with Fox out.
Yeah.
But I'm going right now under the assumption that he'll play, but I'm only doing that because
I'm going to go on to Twitter and see if there's anything even unofficial on Mitchell, just to see what. Donovan last hour. Latest. Waiting on Donovan Mitchell news. Waiting on Donovan Mitchell news. Waiting on Donovan Mitchell news. Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. Per sources, 9 minutes ago. I mean, no legit, but per sources, Donovan Mitchell will not play, but it's not anybody I've heard of. Remains questionable. Just waiting.
It's pretty big news, and it's really unfortunate this game is after lock.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the argument is for not playing Mitchell here. Like, what I don't know what.
Okay, so now JB Bickerstaff says Donovan Mitchell, quote, didn't do a lot at shoot around this morning. I mean, why can't he just like be honest with what's going on? I mean, like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, that's a tough one. Feels like we're really speculating, but I don't know. Ugh.
I mean, like, because if Donovan Mitchell's out, then you have like all kinds of stuff from Cleveland. I mean, like,
yeah, mostly it's going to be Garland,
yeah.
but then you get the Osman and LeVert thing too. I don't think it gives enough of a boost to Mobley and Allen at their price. I think Allen's already a good play, but like I'm not playing much of him just because I'm just not getting that exact tier. But it doesn't really help those guys much either. I do think that one of LeVert or Osman starting is definitely kind of interesting, but it's not like you have to play these guys either. I do think LeVert at 4,400, it's getting I talk about a guy with a real ceiling.
What's his price?
He's 4,400.
Oh, I thought you said 3,400.
No, if he was 3,400, he would look like the best player on the slate if Mitchell was out, I think.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, there's a difference. You know, if he gets 20 fantasy points as a median.
No, I get it, but I mean,
but yeah, he'll be a good play anyway if Mitchell's out. So a lot of stuff speaks more to maybe postponing a little bit. Unfortunately, I do like this Knicks Charlotte situation. I think Quickly is the best play from that game, but I also like the Rozier and Oubre on the other side, not together, but I think both of them are interesting. Came off of PJ Washington, as I always end up doing, and he'll probably put up 35 fantasy points as he always does. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Julius Randle, RJ Barrett is under 6K now. Like, everybody in that game is very, very playable, but I think you're better off, at least until we hear about this Mitchell situation. And we just know there's going to be something else. And then with Davion starting.
Yeah, it's going to be Larry Markkinen. I mean.
Well, what's Markkinen out? I don't know that like, it's funny because I'm stacking that game everywhere. And I don't even know if that makes as much difference as you think it would. Like,
okay.
Like Markkinen is not a high usage guy. He's medium usage, you know, for a forward, he's decent usage, but he's been good this year, partially because he's just so freaking efficient. I mean, if you look at his 3-point shooting numbers, they're out of control. 4 out of 6, 5 out of 9, 4 out of 7, 7 of 11, 2 of 8, 5 of 11, 3 out of 7, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 5. Like literally every game you look at, you got one out of 11 games where he's not shooting 50% plus from 3-point range. It's pretty nuts.
Maybe you're right. Maybe Bogdanovich is a good play anyway.
Yeah. I think he is. But and I love the perception going away from him because I'll tell you what, when he's in there, he's going to be jacking up shots.
Yeah, he put up 16 in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, if you give him a time limit where he can only do so much in so much time,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
in a weird, like really twisted way, it might even be a better play.
Who's a better play though, him or Joe Harris?
He is always.
Okay.
Joe Harris can always get hot. He's always an interesting low owned guy, but like there's nothing about Joe Harris like
That's ever a better play than Bogdan Bogdanovic. I get it.
yeah, he doesn't do it like you're talking about just a shooter. Whereas Bogdanovic, you could call him shooting reliant, but he creates, he does everything, and he's like he'll take more shots in a game than Joe Harris will take in 2 weeks.
The Wizards will start Morris, Kispert, Avdia, Kuzma, and Porzingis.
Yep. Boy, this is kind of a weird thing. I'm going to try and update these projections again. I'm kind of surprised that nothing. Where is the Atlanta? There they go. They finally got it right.
I'm just not even going to bother because I'm going to have to probably do something for Cleveland anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could do it just because then if Garland's in, and then if Mitchell is in, then I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I'll just wait. I'll just wait another 15 minutes at least.
Yeah, I think that I just have to wait on the Mitchell thing because I mean, now I especially love him. He was already going to be low enough owned for me, but now talk about, I mean, low owned if he plays. And Donovan Mitchell doesn't like, he had some down games because they were playing so many games in so many nights or whatever. But when he goes out and if it's a competitive game, he's going to go out and try to just completely go nuts, plenty of the time here. So maybe I'm biased. I shouldn't have watched him play against the Lakers. I'm spoiled forever. Now I just want to play Donovan Mitchell every day.
Right.
But you got the possibility of playing the Mitchell, which is
true.
Which is one of the things that we used to joke. You could go Mitchell, Bogdanovic too. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I just throwing it out there. Just be aware that Davion Mitchell, this is not like a lock button play. Single entry, yes, you're using him. Other tournament, yes, sure, you're using him. But this is not like there is no guarantee that he's not going to put up like 30 that much here. He can, but it's not like he's like the only guy on that team. I mean, like you have 5 legitimate starters who play a lot of minutes, or 4 legitimate starters who play a lot of minutes that he's playing with. And then you've got Monk, who's going to play a lot of minutes, and Metu, who plays minutes off the bench. And my guess is that they give Dellavedova some run.
Oh my God, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. Former team going back to Cleveland,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Chasing Mo Wagner, I think that's actually an interesting tournament play. I mentioned it earlier on the show we did. I think Mo Wagner is an interesting play. I'm not getting to him, but I totally understand it, and I have no problem if you want to go ahead and do it. I just am not doing it myself. Well, I guess this explains a little better why the Cavs are only 4-point favorites with no Fox. That feels like Mitchell's out, right? They would be like, I think if Mitchell was in and healthy without Fox, they're 7.5, 8-point favorites in this game.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the actual
the line is.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. The actual NBA line is it's still 4.
Yeah,
it's 4. Yeah.
That feels like Mitchell's out to me.
It definitely feels like Mitchell is out.
I thought it was sneaky earlier on. Like I put it as one of my favorite bets of the day on my bets was the Cavs -3. Like, why are they 3.5-point favorites here? That's what they should be in Sacramento.
You should probably bet Cleveland.
Still like Cleveland even without Mitchell, even without
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think this is an upside, just in case Mitchell plays.
Yeah, even if he doesn't, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if he doesn't play, it's not the worst play in the world, and if he plays, then it's probably a lock.
Yeah, I mean, like Cleveland's never getting beaten to death here, and Cleveland is beating the hell out of Sacramento like a good portion of the time. It's just a mismatch. And I like Sacramento. I think they're good, but without Fox, that's a big deal. All right, so Davion, so the value Davion, I do think Curry is very viable. I still love Halliburton, who I haven't talked much about. Still, if Mitchell or Garland, one of those guys I'm going to play. Bogdanovic, I still think is a good play. I'm not worried as overly about it. A guy who no one is going to look at today, but if he was 4.9 instead of 5.1, they might. Tim Hardaway Jr. I think was going to be popular, and I don't think he will be. He's
Yeah.
put up 40 or more in 3 out of the last 4 games. He's put up 30 or more. He's averaging as a starter this season.
Donovan Mitchell. Okay, this is again unconfirmed, but Donovan Mitchell just emerged from the tunnel on street clothes 80 minutes before tip-off. Okay. That's so a pretty strong sign that he's out.
Well, yeah, it's an hour and 8 minutes before tip-off, but yeah, still, it seems like a likely out.
Yeah, but this guy could be just making it up. Oh, this is the Cavs beat reporter, actually.
Oh, then I would trust that. Okay, so let's pretend Garland. So we're gonna go Garland now as a priority. And Garland, Mitchell, the other Mitchell, they couldn't even play against each other. They're facing each other tonight. We could have had Davion Donovan going nuts against each other, but nope, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, here's the. I guess I'll post in the Discord. And the real D Cunningham.
Yeah, I agree with that's. What a weird thing if he's in. Like, I would just be assuming. All the projections should be assuming he's out if that's the case. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen an NBA guy 80 minutes before a game in street clothes on the court. Never.
No.
And it's a home game, so it makes sense that we would know later. Yeah, I'm assuming he's out. So that game now moves towards the interesting stack list, right?
But again, don't. This is just. I don't know exactly who this person is. It says that he's the beat reporter, but I don't never heard of this guy. Cavs beat. Oh, yeah, actually, he's followed by Ricky Sanders, so that's got to be something. Okay, so he's probably legit.
Okay, so let's turn our Mitchells. That's what I have to do is turn all my Mitchells into Garlands.
For now, for sure.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them. I've got quite a bit of Mitchell. Yeah. Ugh. Weird slate. I hate this, man. Like, we do this all day.
Dude, Sabersim's so good. It says doubtful under Sabersim now.
Yeah, good job, Sabersim. Maybe they're listening to our show. Maybe we're the ones.
Maybe. Or maybe I have secret access to the Sabersim fans to put a D on there. It's
Yeah. Davion Mitchell's projection keeps climbing. The ownership is too high, I would say. Well, it's not. It's going to be higher than maybe it should be. I also think Jalen Johnson. Yeah, there it is. Jalen Johnson now projecting like a great play.
For who?
For Atlanta. I was waiting for it for the Hunter also out because Hunter being back was going to eat into him a little bit because Hunter plays the 4. And now you've got Jalen Johnson probably securing 20 plus minutes, which, yeah,
there it is, huh?
Maybe as much as 30 minutes is possible. The only thing is they don't need to play him in this matchup. So I think that's an interesting. I'd be much more inclined to fade Jalen Johnson than I would be these other guys, just because they really don't need to play big. You know what I mean? Against Brooklyn.
So what do we do here? So Garland is going to probably get an extra 2 or 3 fantasy point projection.
Should we just be playing Trey at this point?
I don't know.
No, I mean, there's no, seriously, before the game starts, you say there's no DeJounte Murray, and the only starter that...
And he's still in New York.
And he's still in New York after being terrible the other night.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels kind of weird.
I like it. I think I like it.
Yeah.
Just him and Durant, start your lineups there.
There you go. Play him with Durant or Kyrie.
Dude,
watch
Karis LeVert at 4,400. That's man, that's pretty good.
Talk about upside. He might be the only guy in the slate who can 16x his price.
What I was gonna say, he can literally get 15x.
Boy. Oh boy. I really am curious who they're gonna start though.
Donovan Mitchell ruled out. Okay.
There it is. Okay. All right. I've got to go edit some lineups pretty soon. I'm getting a little antsy. Okay, I'm just making sure there's nothing else. Get some updated projections. Boy, all these great looking plays from earlier in the day that are,
Yeah.
I quickly will have some ownership, but he's going to be much lower owned now.
Yeah, these quickly plays going to
tell you who no one's going to play anymore is Markelle Fultz.
On FanDuel, they will.
What's his price over there?
40 something.
He's 48 on DraftKings.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, okay.
but he put up 7 fantasy points or something the other night in 28 minutes.
So what?
I
So
don't-
Levert's going to start? Is that the deal?
I think we should assume Levert starts, but it could be Osman.
Oh, I'd love Osman to start and let me play Levert.
That's it. That's exactly what you'd want, right? That's what I
Yeah.
would think. So. Shit.
That's what we want.
Oh my god. What the hell's going on in the world?
NBA's rough business, man.
You know what really is irritating me about it too? I like so many point guards tonight and centers that at least Donovan Mitchell has the shooting guard possibility. Garland, you have to go to point guard, so I have to re-edit everything. Ugh. Garland, Russell, Clarkson.
All right, Saber. Who's going to be first? Saberson's probably going to be first with the Cleveland. They've been very good. But I think he's going to wait to see who starts. That's probably smart.
Yeah.
No, there it is. Okay, so they didn't change anything. They just took what's his name out.
Who?
Mitchell. They still have Garland 40.
Okay.
I mean, his minutes are going to be. I mean, Garland's minutes are going to be the same. I mean, it's just. Levert 24 minutes. That has to be more than that.
I mean, also like look, every time Cleveland's a really good basketball team still. Like, let's not forget that. Like, just because Mitchell's out doesn't make them like a bad basketball team. They could still blow them away, and it could be with Levert in the second unit putting up like 45 fantasy points. I totally see it. Whew. So they're saying Levert is starting. I still think he's totally fine. I'd like Garland a little better if Osman was starting, and I actually still like Osman, by the way, for what it's worth. Yeah. Ugh. This is a weird slate. All right, so ranking the value, guys. Davion, Jalen Johnson project well. I'd more likely to let go of Jalen Johnson than Davion. I still like Bogdanovich. I don't care about them talking about a minutes limit. Still like Quickly. Still like Avdia. I like Mitchell Robinson. I don't understand his projections in general. Like, I guess he's the hardest guy to project because he puts up like 20 or 50 so much. But Seth Curry is going to be overlooked now, which is fine. I don't even mind overlooking it. But maybe we just go back to the sheets. Why aren't we talking more about Trey? Am I missing that maybe everybody's playing him and we just haven't talked about it? No, they're not, right? He looks like he's got no ownership.
Nope.
I'm going to have to do that. Like,
I don't like the I'm not into the SaberSim projection of Bogdanovich 44% owned.
Yeah.
I don't think that's accurate.
It is interesting because they only have him at 26 minutes. He's a really good point per minute, though, in general, especially in this situation where you have no other co-creator. It's really just he. The ball is going to be in his hand or it's going to be in Trey's.
Give him a little bump. Isaac Okoro. I'm not playing Isaac Okoro.
You definitely don't have to play all three together. I think that would be a huge mistake to play Osman. Well, I mean, it could work like Osman, Levert, and Garland, but no, you definitely don't need to play all three of those guys. I mean, there's 9 players. Cleveland has 13 guys dressed or whatever it is. There's 9 players playing for Washington. You know, they have 9 bodies. I don't know why we're not. I can't. Maybe it's because it's hard to figure out the play, like who it is. It just feels like we should be all over Washington, and I can't figure out who the right play is, other than Avdia as the obvious one. But 9 guys against the Pacers? That's like there's like no way 2 guys don't crush. At least 4. You know.
Well, let me see what a build looks like. I just did some manual update here. What would I be getting?
Maxi Kleber is a terrible play to answer that question.
Davion Mitchell, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Ayton. Why would I not get?
You could play Bogdanovich and Trey together to answer that question from Gabe. I got to run to edit my lineup because I've got too many guys out of here.
Okay.
Do you mind if I jump sheets?
No, it's fine.
I'll leave you on here. All right. Good luck, everybody. I'll be in Discord. I got to figure out what I'm going to do here with the rest of this news. And I think that we covered the things that I'm basically doing. But no, you definitely don't need to play Garland, Mitchell, and Davion Mitchell. Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. Yeah, you can do that, but you don't have to do it. No, I don't think that it's an automatic that LeVert has to go off here, but I do think the upside is tremendous. I wish he wasn't starting though.
Oh wait, I need to do something.
I don't know where sheets went. I was about to leave, but I don't.
No, yeah, I'm gonna go in a sec.
Okay. Good luck, man.
Okay. I'll try to update projections before I have to do my lineups and get out of here, but it's gonna be tough. Yeah, I gotta do. I do have to do an update. I'm not quite ready yet. I'm gonna update my lineups now, then I'm gonna update them again after I do the projection. That's what I'm gonna do. So I am gonna actually bid you guys farewell so that I can get these